Sun's a bit hazy, checking the forecast. Things looking crazy, a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do it to it, guys. Let's kick this can right now. We're going to do this absolutely right now. We're here for you guys. We're coming right directly from the Emergency Management Headquarters in the studios offices of Emergency Management, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Welcome to our program today. We appreciate you all being here. We really do. It makes a world of difference to have all of you with us today. We have Jazzers here with us. We have our buddy Rich Quake from Nova Scotia, Canada here with us. And I'm sure we have many others here watching or listening to our program today. I'm going to zoom in here. Yes, we have at least 11 people here watching it. And we probably have more listening as well. We welcome everybody here, guys. We appreciate you here. It makes a difference. It really does. Now, guys, I'm going to start off this program, as we've done before, with a salute to our United States of America. Stay tuned for this. I think you're going to want to see this. We've done it before. We're going to do it again right now. Stay tuned for United States Army Barbershop Quartet performing the Barbershop Quartet Convention in 2015. The MCs of the Barbershop Quartet Convention are giving the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, would you make welcome straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet?
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh, yeah! Come on, folks, let them know it. America's finest right there.
America's finest, the United States Army Barbershop Quartet, performing at the Barbershop Quartet Convention in 2015. We love these men for doing it. We appreciate their honor, their patriotism. We thank them for the service and thank the United States for being here to protect our own lives. We thank our military for helping protect our country as well. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you a lot. Now, guys, I have some things I need to talk about here before we get started. Okay? First, for those of you that are on here on the program for the first time, please subscribe to our program. It's very helpful to you. That way you'll get to know us. You're going to want to see what we have to show you, and I assure you, you'll enjoy it. You're going to want to see this because this involves all of us in supporting each other, helping each other, guys, literally helping each other. Hold on a second, guys. I think my webcam froze here. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to try to bring our webcam back here. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to try to get our webcam back here. I don't know why it's frozen. It's never frozen anytime in any one of our broadcasts before. So this is a brand new issue. So please hang in there with us, guys. We'd greatly appreciate it. Just a minute. Let me fix this problem. Okay, we got it back. I'm sorry. We do have our webcam back. I'm sorry for that brief intermission there for a second. We got our webcam back, fortunately. Okay, that does happen occasionally, guys. It's the first time it's happened on the air, but we appreciate each one of you being with us today, guys. Okay, let's get started with this. What I want to say. Please subscribe to our channel if you're here for the first time. When you subscribe to our channel, even those people they may think they're already subscribed, please make sure you check your subscriptions because YouTube keeps unsubscribing people. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. When you do that, right next to the subscription button, there's a little bell icon. Click on that little bell icon, guys. When you click on that bell icon, there's a drop-down menu, three items that's going to come up. Click on the word ALL. That should get you notified when we come on the air. During the weekdays, Monday through Friday, we come on the air between 4 and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. If we come on the air any other time, it's because there is an emergency. There's an emergency somewhere. We need to get the information out post haste. Okay, that's why we come on the air 24/7 if necessary. We've done it before when we've had a huge earthquake in California. We've done it before when we've had huge earthquakes almost anywhere. We've also done it before when there's been a big huge train derailment in Ohio, Palestine, Ohio, and that train derailment led to rail car leaking very toxic substance, and then the people in authority in Palestine, Ohio, lit that toxic substance on fire. That spread the toxic chemical all the way throughout the eastern part of the United States, from Ohio all the way east out in the Atlantic Ocean, and that toxic substance in the air made its way to Europe as well. We come on the air to give you information to help protect you and your families. That's why we are on the air today. Help protect you and your families. Yes, we're going to talk about earthquakes. We're going to talk about Coso Volcano in Southern California, just north of Ridgecrest, California. Okay, Coso Volcano. Okay, we've had some earthquakes there during this past weekend that are concerning. So we're going to address that also today. We're going to talk about worldwide earthquakes as well. Okay, so please stay tuned for our program today. You're going to want to be here. Okay, number one, before we go any further, please also, if you want to help support this channel, please do so. Go to our PayPal locations. You see scrolling across the bottom of your screen here. Go to our PayPal locations and help support this program here today. We'd appreciate it. Any and all donations you give us help to support this program. We greatly appreciate it, guys. We really do. It would mean the world to us. Okay? Now, also, you can go to our chat here and give us super chats. Give us super chats. That also helps go to the program to help make sure we keep this program in the air. When I first started this program over 7.5 years ago, I didn't understand that it cost money to operate this program. Within a few months, I realized that in order to have bandwidth to be able to broadcast this program without any interruptions, it costs money. I'm now paying over $358 a month. Yes, $358 a month to keep this program on the air. So we appreciate you all helping contribute to this program to keep us on the air. Okay? Thank you very much for that. Okay? Also, Below that, you see our address scrolling across the bottom of your screen as well. Our PayPal, or not our PayPal, our Gmail address, where you can send us comments and questions or ideas that you want to have on the show. We'll consider it and do that as well. Also, you see our postal address here, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. Our zip code here is 28655. One lady from Oklahoma, might have been her family. They sent us a donation in the post office, through the post office. We got it the day before yesterday. Okay, we appreciate that donation. They did not put their name out. Apparently they didn't want their name to be known, but it's from Oklahoma. I want to thank all of you from Oklahoma, all of you from all over the United States that helped contribute to this program. It's greatly appreciated. Donna Gregory, this past weekend gave us a donation as well. Actually, last week gave us a donation as well. We'd appreciate it. Like I said, it goes to helping to keep this program on the air. Thank you very much for that. Okay, now I want to also do some housekeeping here. Some members of our EMA family are in hospital or hurting, injured, or have diseases to keep them off this program and keep them down. Okay, one of my dear friends, Rebecca, lives here in Lafayette, North Carolina. She has a channel here on YouTube that she's presently not able to do. Okay, Rebecca Explorer here on YouTube. Go over there and show her channel some love and subscribe to her channel as well. Rebecca has cancer. She's been treated for cancer and some other things that are going on in her life. Guys, pray for her as well. My other dear friend, Don Patoka, was in Utah, northern Utah. He's been in and out of the VA Medical Center and in and out of University of Utah Medical Center as well. Okay, he has cancer as well. Okay, he may be at the end of his life. We want to make sure we give him prayers as well. Give him prayers as well. I know they appreciate it very greatly. Renee Seppi's here. Renee Seppi's one of our moderators on this channel. She also would appreciate prayers. Okay, another one. Sleeping Volcano is coming on this air, and she may already be here today. Please pray for her as well. Okay? She has heart failure. She has problems breathing. I'm sure she would appreciate your prayers as well. Okay? So please help our family members, guys. Even pray for me. Okay? I have a lot of pain in my back. Lots and lots of pain in my back. Almost excruciating pain. So I'd appreciate your prayers as well, and our family as well. Thank you very much for everything, guys. We appreciate and love each and every one of you. We really do. Now, guys, I want to also pay tribute to someone that's meant a great deal to me and my family. I'm sure a lot of other people. Dolly Parton died today at age 80. Dolly Parton died at age 80. For more than 6 decades, Dolly Parton wasn't simply a country singer. She was part of the soundtrack of our lives. For some of us, she came into our homes through a television set. Others was a record spinning on a turntable, a cassette playing on the car, or hearing one of her songs on the radio, knowing every word before the song was over. There was Jolene. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm not going to go any further. I'll get a bad mark from YouTube. But there was Jolene. Everybody knows that song or knows a part of it. There's a reason why we're here. And suddenly we are all singing along. There was 9 to 5, which became far more than a hit song. It became a movie, a character, a moment in time. And one of those songs could instantly transport you right back to the early 1980s, even the 70s. There was Coat of Many Colors. Coat of Many Colors. Dolly Parton and Donny Osmond. Here You Come Again. Islands in the Stream. 2 Doors Down. Why'd you come in here looking like that? Of course, I will always love you. Then was Dolly herself. Last year, her husband died. Dolly was mourning him. She loved him very much. That unmistakable voice, that huge, enormous smile that she had, those great, big, huge blonde wigs, the rhinestones, the humor, the kindness, and somehow underneath it all, the little girl from Tennessee mountains who seemed never to forget where she came from. Dolly wrote thousands of songs over the years and built a career that crossed country, pop, gospel, television, movies, and Broadway, and so much more. She became a country music Hall of Famer, a rock and roll Hall of Famer, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, and one of the most successful and recognizable entertainers around the world that the world's ever known. But perhaps what made Dolly different was that she left her legacy, that her legacy was never just about records or awards. She gave books to children, and through her imagination library, she supported literacy and education as well. She built Dollywood. She helped countless people, and she managed to become one of the biggest stars in the world without losing the warmth and humor that she made people feel like they knew her. She made people feel like they knew her. I even felt like I knew her. I never met her. She once said, quote, "My dream was to make as many people happy as I could in this life." She certainly did that. She made us all laugh. She made us cry. She gave us songs, music to sing with our families, songs to play on road trips, songs to dedicate to someone we loved, and songs that somehow said exactly what we could put into words ourselves. And for those of us who grew up during the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, Dolly wasn't just a famous person. She was part of the scenery of our lives. She was on the radio. She was on television. She was at the movies. She was on album covers. She was somebody's mom, and somebody's mom knew her. Somebody's grandma loved her. Somebody's dad might have turned up the radio to listen to her songs, her music. And somebody whose songs could be heard coming from the living room, the kitchen, the car, or the neighbor's house. That's what makes losing an artist like Dolly so difficult. We're not just saying goodbye to a singer. We're saying goodbye to a piece of our own memories. Dolly Parton's music will continue to be played, and of course, her movies will still make us laugh. Her stories will still be told. Children still receive books because of the work she began. And somewhere, someone who's never heard before, Jolene, they're going to hear it, they're going to fall in love with the song. Regardless if their girl's named Jolene or not, they'll hear it for the first time. They're going to say that's the most beautiful thing about the legacy like Dolly's. She doesn't really leave us. She stays in the music. She stays in the stories. She stays in the memories. She stays in all the people she inspired along the way. Right now, I want to say rest peacefully, Dolly. We're going to miss you. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the laughter. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for the memories. And thank you for making the world a little brighter. Forever our Dolly. Dolly, we will always love and appreciate you very much. Rest in peace. We've got this world from here. Thank you, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton dead at the age of 80 years old. Forever and Dolly. We appreciate you very much. Now, guys, I want to talk about the Coso volcanic field. The Coso volcanic field. Right here. Okay? But before that, I want to talk about earthquakes around the world. Let's go to the USGS map for the time being. Okay? USGS is not telling us everything that's going on, though. I'm going to tell you what's happening. You may need to know it. Why? Because the earthquakes that happen around the world may still affect each and every one of our lives, our families' lives, our neighbors' lives as well. So we're going to talk about that now. Okay? Be prepared for this, guys. You're going to want to see this. Okay? Over here in the Philippines, this big island in the Philippines is called Mindanao, Philippines, the largest island in the Philippine chain. Over here to the northeast side of Mindanao, Philippines, we have a 4.7 moderate earthquake here. Earthquakes I'm showing you here are not the only earthquakes hit here. Only the earthquakes the USGS wants to show us. Down south here, right here, this is a 4.2 earthquake. 4.2 earthquake, guys. USGS is saying it's 192 kilometers southeast of Sarangani, Philippines. Let me bring this map up to snuff here. I want to show you where this really is. I want to show you where this earthquake really is. Okay? Up here. See this cigar-shaped island here? This is Sarangani, Philippines. This round volcano island is called Balut. Balut. We go scrolling back down through here. This is south of Balut, not southeast of Sarangani, Philippines. This is south of Balut. Down here, the southwest of the Philippines here. This is a 4.6 south of Mindanao, Philippines. 218 kilometers southwest of Mindanao, Philippines. 4.6 earthquake. Okay? There's a lot of other earthquakes here as well. There's about 6 other earthquakes here as well. Now, I want to go down further here to the south. Down here in the southern Indonesia here, right here. There are about 40 earthquakes here today. USGS is showing 2. This is a 5.0 aftershock. This is a 5.2 aftershock from a major 7.7 earthquake that happened a week and a half ago. This is a 5.0 aftershock, large earthquake. Large earthquake. Literally on the edge of the tectonic plate here. That red line here is the edge of the tectonic plate. USGS maps tectonic plates. They map earthquake faults. This is on the edge of the plate, just like this 7.7 was on the edge of the plate. We're going to still see aftershocks for a great long time. Great long time. Maybe years. Maybe years we're going to see aftershocks from the 7.7 earthquake. And we're going to see earthquakes here when USGS doesn't even show them. I'm going to make sure you see them. Okay? Southwest of there. This is another 4.0 earthquake. East Java, Indonesia here. This is a 4.9, 5.0 large earthquake, 34 kilometers northwest of Ruteng, Indonesia. Ruteng, Indonesia. Okay? Let's back out here. Notice this. There are about 34 other earthquakes here in the Java, Indonesia area here. 34 earthquakes. USGS not even showing them here. Not showing them at all. There are 3 earthquakes out here on Sumatra, Indonesia here. This island here, pointing to the northwest here, is Sumatra, Indonesia. There's 4 other earthquakes here today. USGS not showing one of them. That's pretty darn sad. Earthquakes over here in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, up here in the Myanmar, Burma area. They're not showing those as well. Those are 2.7, 2.9, 3.5, 3.7, 3.8, 4.5, and 4.7 earthquakes here. USGS not showing them. All kinds of earthquakes here, guys. USGS decides not to show them. This is the Himalaya Mountains region here. Okay? Earthquakes from Myanmar, Burma also go up here into the southeast side, or not, I'm sorry, not southeast side, northeast side of India in the Himalaya Mountains here. Now, guys, let's back out here a little bit. This same earthquake fault here, coming out of Indonesia here, is on the edge of the plate here. There are 7 different tectonic plates in play here. 7 different tectonic plates in play here. Going over here into Tonga, Fiji area, all the way down here into New Zealand, all the way up here into Australia, the Legacy Islands of New Caledonia here, Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea as well. Right here. This is a 4.5 mod earthquake here in Papua New Guinea. Again, they're not showing all the earthquakes at all. I know why. I have the answer why they're not showing the earthquakes. The simple reason is this. All this seismic energy here headed west. Headed west, guys. Where does it go? It follows the edge of the plates here. Follows the edge of the plates here, guys. When that happens, the other areas here to the west get more and more earthquakes. That's one of the reasons that Indonesia has so many earthquakes. The other reason is we have seven different tectonic plates in play here. 7 different tectonics in play here. That makes a difference. That makes a huge difference. Huge, huge difference here. Now, let me explain why. Okay? A couple years ago, I got a letter from someone, a lady here in Indonesia, that point blank asked me why they get so many earthquakes in Indonesia. Some of those very damaging earthquakes. They get so many earthquakes there because they have tectonic plates in play here. One of the tectonics in play, one plate under the other, is going like this: subduction. One tectonic plate is subducting under the other in this region. One tectonic plate is subducting under the other, causing earthquakes, earth movement. That's why you have so many earthquakes here. 65 earthquakes in Indonesia today. 65. 65 total earthquakes, guys. That's a lot. Okay? Not to mention, we can't leave out all these earthquakes in eastern or southeastern Indonesia down here. Okay? 40 earthquakes here. 40 earthquakes, guys. That makes a difference. 40 earthquakes. Aftershocks of a 7.7 earthquake. That's important. That's vitally important. This energy here is transferring west. Just south and west of Sumatra here, up into Myanmar, Burma, Thailand area. Going further up here to the north, over here to northeastern India, the Himalaya Mountains here, all the way over here to Afghanistan, where we have an earthquake here. Again, USGS not telling us the entire story of what's happening here. I'm telling you, if you go over the European EMSC maps, Go over the European EMSC map of earthquakes. They'll show you how many earthquakes are really here. It will be astounding. I can assure you, all throughout the world, we have close to 1,700 earthquakes worldwide. 1,700 earthquakes worldwide. USGS is saying there's only 276 worldwide. That's impossible. It's impossible, guys. Scientifically impossible. But the agency doesn't want us to know what's happening. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Let's go over here to the west. Right here. Southern Iran. Southern Iran is being shelled by Israel and the U.S. military. This is a 4.2 earthquake here. Yes, it's on the edge of the plate here. But I will bet you this earthquake happened as a reason of military BOMBS. BOMBS. 4.2 moderate earthquake here. Many other earthquakes here as well. Going further here to the west, right here. Okay? Right here. Guys, this is a Turkish-Syria border region. The Turkish-Syria border region. 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, February 3rd, 2023, we had a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake hit here, right in this area. USGS is showing us one earthquake here. They're saying a 4.2 earthquake hit here. But guys, it's not the only earthquake that hit here. There are 42 earthquakes that hit here in the Turkish-Syria border region. 42 earthquakes hit here, guys. Why? These earthquakes are aftershocks. These are earthquake aftershocks. They're going to hit here for years. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake hit here on this fault line. And as a result, it left 5,000 people unalived and over 5,000 people injured, and a great big huge fissure 14 miles long that could house an 8-story building inside the fissure. Yeah, that's how deep the fissure was. That's what happens when you have a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. Okay, right here. Earthquakes all around Turkey. Southern Turkey, northern Turkey, central Turkey, and western Turkey as well. 35 earthquakes in western Turkey as well. 35. USGS not showing any of them at all. The guys have a doctor friend serving with the U.S. military in a military hospital here in the Turkish-Syria border region. I know what's happening here. They tell me what's happening. I can guarantee you guys the lives are in danger here. This is a war-torn region of Turkey and Syria. Okay? With everything going on here, it's no small surprise we have a military hospital here. Let's go further to the west. Right here. This is Romania. This is the 4.4 earthquake here in Romania. Not just a 4.4, guys. We have 2.3. We have a 2.2. We have a 1.99 tremor here as well. Romania. Going further to the south here. Northeastern Greece. This is the Greece-Albania border. This is the 4.4 earthquake here. 4.4 earthquake here, guys. Again, they're not showing all the earthquakes here at all. There are other earthquakes here as well. Going over here into Italy and Sicily here. 4 earthquakes here in Sicily. half dozen earthquakes here in the southern boot of Italy, in the shoe of Italy here. Going further to the north here, the Naples area here, I don't have to tell you, we have earthquakes here. Okay? Number one, what is sitting right here? Vesuvius volcano. Vesuvius volcano. Guys, why is this here? It's a tourist trap right now. It hasn't erupted in thousands of years. However, when it last erupted, it totally buried Pompeii. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people died in Pompeii. Now, Vesuvius volcano is surrounded. It's a very populated, urbanized area. Down here to the south, hundreds of maybe thousands of people live here. Thousands of people live here. Up here to the northeast, more people live here. Up here to the northwest, more people live here. On the southern side of the volcano, more people live here as well. Guys, this volcano has been steaming. Earlier this year, this volcano was steaming, but now it's putting out tremors and minor earthquakes. This volcano Vesuvius is very active. Very active. But again, USGS is not talking about it. Not talking about it. Further to the north here, north and west here, this Naples area. What do we have here, guys? What do we have here? See these craters here? Back in the day, when these craters were active, there was lava flowing all over the landscape here. Lava was flowing all over the landscape here. Guys, this area is still rocking and rolling here. They have tremors and minor earthquakes every day. Every day. This is Campi Flegrei. Campi Flegrei. Some homes and businesses were shut down because those homes and businesses were collapsed when earthquakes hit here. Recently guys, Campi Flegrei is an active volcano as well. An active volcanic system. Yes, we see craters here. In some cases, people are living in the craters. Some cases, people are living in the craters. Their homes are built on the caldera, the volcano floor. The volcano floor that existed there after the volcano stopped erupting and the lava cooled. That's why they built homes and businesses here. It's a volcanic area, Campi Flegrei. We're going to continue talking about this because we're going to see more activity here in the very near future. Whether the USGS wants to talk about it or not, we're going to talk about it. Okay? Now I want to go up here to the north central Italy here, right there in this area here. Okay? Why do we want to talk about this? Number one, we have 24 earthquakes here. 24 earthquakes. The majority of these earthquakes are tremors, 1.0, 1.8 tremors. There are also some 2.2 and 2.4 earthquakes here as well. Guys, these are swarms of earthquakes every day. These earthquake swarms every day. These earthquake swarms breed large earthquakes. Earthquake swarms breed large earthquakes. As a result of these swarms, we've already seen two 5.0, one 5.0, one 5.1 earthquake here in the past year and a half. Since these earthquake swarms are still going on, we may still see a 5.0 earthquake happen here in the very near future. 5.0 earthquakes are large earthquakes. Plain and simple. It's interesting, we keep going between 25 and 17 people watch this program. I'm trying to save some lives here, guys. I'm trying to save some lives. Now look at that earthquake fault going all the way through Italy. Where does it come from? It comes from over here. Way over here. Way over here in Turkey-Syria border region. The Turkey-Syria border region here. It's important. It's important. Whether USGS even shows these earthquakes, they should. They should. People's lives count on it. This fault line coming out of Turkey, Syria, carries seismic energy here. Seismic energy. All the earthquakes that you don't see here come down this same fault line, the Anatolian fault line, come out here in the Mediterranean Sea, even south of Cyprus there. Cyprus has had 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes today. The same Anatolian fault line goes out here in the Western Mediterranean. Goes down here south of Crete, Greece. Then it heads to the northwest. Goes up in the boot of Italy here. Part of that fault line goes over here to Sicily as well. Out here into northern Africa, Morocco area. Guys, this energy here coming out of Syria, Turkey border region also goes in here into Italy. North central Italy and northern Italy here as well. And further up here into the Alps Mountains. Up here in the Alps Mountains here. Okay? Happens. Happens every day. USGS doesn't show any earthquakes here in Greece. Doesn't show any earthquakes here in Italy. Doesn't show any earthquakes here in France, Switzerland, or Germany. There are earthquakes here. Mostly tremors, minor earthquakes. Tremors being 1.0, 1.9. Minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.5 here. France, Switzerland, and Germany. Down here in Spain, southern Spain here, we're still seeing some 2.0, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.7 earthquakes here in southern Spain. Last week, we had a huge swarm of earthquakes here, 34 earthquakes here in southern Spain. 34 earthquakes. People's homes were damaged. A Catholic church cathedral had the facade fall off of the front of the church. People's walls were cracked. What facades broke off of buildings, apartment buildings, businesses, fell into cars as well. And people were injured. Fortunately, nobody was killed. But that happened here in southern Spain. Every day here. Every day here. The border of France and Spain here every day has 3 earthquakes. 3 earthquakes. 1.7, 1.8 tremor, 2.0, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes here at the Spain-France border here. All the time. Every day. Going over here in Portugal. Portugal has some 2.2, 2.3 earthquakes in northern Portugal. Down here near Lisbon, we have a 2.2 minor earthquake. Further down here in the south, in the Azores here. The Azores offshore here. Have a 2.7, 3.0 earthquake here. USGS not talking about it. They should. They should. This area here is also part of the Azores, on the western side of the Strait of Gibraltar. Earthquakes here. Minor earthquakes. USGS not talking about it. Unreal. Very sad. Iceland here. Southern Iceland here. offshore. We have a 4.2 moderate earthquake here. 4.2 moderate earthquake here on the mid-Atlantic fault. Mid-Atlantic fault. 4.2 earthquake here, a 4.2 earthquake here. Now guys, we have had earthquakes all over Iceland. Central Iceland, Northern Iceland, and up here northwestern Iceland right here. Off an island called Grimsey Island. Grimsey Island. We've had earthquakes at this glacier here. This great big huge glacier here, which has a volcano underneath it. We had 2.0, 2.5, and 3.2 earthquakes here before. I don't believe we have any here today. We have another volcano right here underneath this great big huge piece of ice. Earthquakes mean these volcanoes are stirring. Earthquakes here mean these volcanoes are stirring. All the volcanoes worldwide are recharging. All the volcanoes worldwide are recharging, guys. I promise you that. Here in the mid-Atlantic, there's another problem going on right now. It's been going on for the past 2.5 years. The mid-Atlantic fault is expanding. The mid-Atlantic fault is expanding. Let me pan out here. With this expansion, mid-Atlantic fault is doing this. It's pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction, while at the same time it's pushing North America, Greenland, and Mexico in a southwesterly direction. It's expanding. Guys, we may see in the near future, because of the mid-Atlantic fault expanding, we may see volcanic action here in the central mid-Atlantic, North Mid-Atlantic, and South Atlantic Ocean. Why? Because, guys, down underneath these faults, down underneath these tectonic plates, and yes, the Atlantic plate is a tectonic plate, and it's expanding from the center. When that happens, hot gases, hot magma come into those crevices. Hot magma and hot gases come into those crevices, and the magma replaces the space that was once occupied by Earth, by the crust of the Earth. Guys, we may see some volcanic action here in the mid-Atlantic Ocean here. Okay, it's expanding. It's expanding. We are seeing more and more earthquakes in France, more and more earthquakes in Spain, more and more earthquakes also in Scandinavia here. In the past few weeks, we've seen earthquakes here near Mayone Island here, in the North Atlantic, I shouldn't say North Atlantic, the North Sea here, and up north of Svalbard, up near the Arctic Circle, further north up to the North Pole. We've seen 4.5 and 5.2 earthquakes here near the North Pole in the past couple months. Okay, it's expanding. This area is expanding, guys. As seismic energy climbs up through the Atlantic Ocean, up here in the North Sea, further north, we're going to see more and more earthquakes. Promise you guys, we're going to see more and more earthquakes. Okay? Now, the expansion of the Atlantic Ocean. Yesterday, we had many, many earthquakes down here south of South America. Drake's Passage. Drake's Passage, we have a 6.2 earthquake here yesterday. Over here to the southwest of South America here, the South Sandwich Islands, we had a 5.2 earthquake here yesterday. That energy doesn't show here on the map because USGS doesn't want to show it. But this energy here is climbing through the Antarctic Ridge here, the Antarctic Ridge here, way down south, that's climbing into the South Mid-Atlantic. This seismic energy, the very strong 6.2 earthquake, the very large 5.2 and 5.3 and 5.4 earthquakes that have been down here in the South Sandwich Islands here are moving up here into the South Mid-Atlantic. We're going to see more and more large earthquakes here in the South Mid-Atlantic coming in the near future here, probably the next few days. Okay? We've seen more and more earthquakes in Southern Africa. We see more and more earthquakes here in South America. Again, US just doesn't want to show them. They don't want to show them. Earthquakes here in South America, some of them are caused by the expansion of the Atlantic plate, but also they're being caused coming from the Pacific plate. Magma coming from the Pacific plate here is causing earthquakes here on the western part of Chile, Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia as well. Also, the tectonic plates here play a great portion of what's happening here. We have something like 42 earthquakes here in South America. 42 earthquakes today. Down here in Chile, northern Chile, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. That's what's happening. USGS didn't want to show them to us. Okay? We have one earthquake being shown to us here in the Caribbean Sea. On what? Where's this? This is the 4.4 earthquake on the the Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Ridge starts here in Guatemala, goes out here into the Caribbean Sea here. Then it goes north for about 100 miles, and then goes out here, further continues its journey east here, just south of the Cayman Islands here, passes north over Jamaica, skirts Cuba, north of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, continues its voyage east here, north of Puerto Rico, north of U.S. and British Virgin Islands, north and south and west of, I shouldn't say north, but west and south of the Leeward Islands here. And then it goes south here into the Atlantic Ocean here before it turns into northern Venezuela. Northern Venezuela. The Cayman Ridge, guys. The Cayman Ridge. We have about 22 earthquakes here in Venezuela today because of the Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Ridge, guys. Up here in the Caribbean, okay, this earthquake here is in what they call the Mona Passage, the northern part of the Mona Passage between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. 4.1 earthquake here, guys. 4.1 earthquake here in the Mona Passage. Over here also on the western side of Puerto Rico here, also in the Mona Passage, we have a 2.3 minor earthquake here. Southwest of Stella, Puerto Rico. Here in southwestern Puerto Rico here, we have one aftershock. We have one aftershock. This is a 2.1 aftershock earthquake. Okay? Someone might say, Ron, why is it an aftershock? Why is this an aftershock? The simple reason is this. December 26th and December 28th, 2019, we had two huge major earthquakes here. two huge major earthquakes, an 8.0 and 8.4 earthquake here. 8.0 and 8.4 earthquake hit here. Man-made earthquakes, guys. I'm not going to go into details right now. Those were man-made earthquakes. They devastated this region. We still have seen aftershocks today, 6.5 years later. This is a 2.1 aftershock here. They're Fuig, Puerto Rico. Fuig, Puerto Rico. Fuig, Puerto Rico. Okay, 2.1 minor earthquake here. Out here to East Central Puerto Rico here. This is just a 2.3 earthquake here. Near Coso, Puerto Rico. Out here in the eastern part of the Caribbean Sea here, just southeast of Puerto Rico, this is a 2.7 minor earthquake here. Okay? Out here into US and British Virgin Islands here. This is the 3.1 small earthquake here. 3.1 small earthquake here. 29 kilometers northeast of Cruz Bay, US Virgin Islands. 3.1 small earthquake here. Okay? Now, I want to take this talk, take our discussion over to California. Taking our discussion over to California. Yes, we're having earthquakes on the New Manifold. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We're having earthquakes in Oklahoma and Texas, which are actually fracking earthquakes, oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Some of them are swarms in southwestern Texas. I want to go over here in Southern California. Southern California, guys. Look at the earthquakes here. Southern California. Northeastern San Diego County. Lake Henshaw. Northeast of Escondido, California. Is 0.3 microquake. Right here. See all these earthquakes here? These earthquakes here are in the Anza-Braga Desert State Park, northeast San Diego County. We're having a swarm of earthquakes here. Swarm of earthquakes. This is 0.5 microquake. This is a 1.3 tremor here. Tremors, minor earthquakes here. Tremors, minor earthquakes. Down here in the Imperial Valley here. This is a 3.1 earthquake here. West of the Salton Sea here. West of Salton Sea, 3.1 small earthquake here. Look where it's at. It's over here, guys, on a fault line. Fault line. Fancy that. The San Jacinto Fault. The San Jacinto Fault. Right here. 0.7 microquake. This is 0.4 microquake. San Jacinto Fault. But on the eastern side of the eastern side of the Salton Sea here, the San Andreas Fault. The same San Andreas Fault comes out of Northern California. The same San Andreas Fault links up with the Cascadia subduction zone at the Triple Junction. Travels all the way down south here to the Imperial Valley. And right here, on the eastern side of the Salton Sea, Bombay Beach here, many earthquakes here every day. 3.0, 4.5 earthquakes here every day. Bombay Beach, California. San Andreas Fault. We have earthquakes here in the Imperial Valley here. We have 500 earthquakes here every day. Every darn day, guys. USGS doesn't show them. They don't think it's necessary. Yet we're going to see a major earthquake on the San Andreas Fault here in Southern California. And when it happens, this whole area from the Salton Sea, Imperial Valley here north, up into and through Los Angeles, northwest over into Las Vegas. Shouldn't say northwest, northeast into Las Vegas, all the way to the coastal areas of Malibu, California, possibly even up into Santa Barbara region. We're expecting a 7.0, 7.5 earthquake hit here on the San Andreas Fault. On the San Andreas Fault. More likely than not, this 7.0 earthquake is going to happen over here just south and east of Los Angeles. South and east of Los Angeles. What's happening here? Why? Why is it happening here? Right here. This is Fallbrook, California. 1.3 tremor here. Anza Desert State Park. Anza area here. The Anza region here. This is 0.4 microquake. Also 0.4 microquake here. Going north here. Going north here. Let's link up on one of the ancillary faults from the San Andreas Fault here. Cabazon. We talked about Cabazon before. This is 0.3 tremor here. Going north. Cabazon here. 10 kilometers north-northwest of Cabazon. 0.6 microquake. Calamasa, California. Calamasa is an RV resort town here where very rich and retired people go here and play and have fun. We have a 1.0 tremor here. This is 0.6 microquake here. Right next to the San Andreas Fault. Northeast of San Andreas here. Big Bear City, California. 1.2 tremor here. Going over here back into Los Angeles area. Mentone, California. Right between the San Andreas and the San Jacinto Fault. Two very deadly faults in this area here. Two very deadly faults here. Over here on the San Jacinto Fault, 1.2 tremor here, Loma Linda, California. Now, guys, USGS is doing us a great disservice. They're not showing anything else going on here in the greater Los Angeles area. There are earthquakes here, guys. There are earthquakes up here in Fontana. Fontana, Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario, Chino Hills, Chino, California. All throughout this area, guys. Everywhere. Fullerton, Anaheim. Guys, we're having 2.0, 3.0 earthquakes in Anaheim, California. Or Knott's Berry Farm, and also Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland are there. Two very famous amusement parks. We're having minor earthquakes and small earthquakes here in Anaheim, California. USGS not saying a word about it. Not one lousy word. Going north here in Los Angeles City, earthquakes. Earthquakes, guys. Right here, Rosemead, California, we see a 1.2 tremor. But again, USGS is denying us coverage of what's actually happening here. We're having 2.5 earthquakes. We're having 3.0 earthquakes here north of Los Angeles. North of Los Angeles here. Minor and small earthquakes happen here all the time, every day. Every day. USGS doesn't want to talk about it. Go down here in Long Beach. 2.5 to 3.0 earthquakes happen here in Long Beach every day, all day long. Both in Anaheim and Long Beach, these earthquakes happen all day long. USGS doesn't want to talk about it. Go figure. One earthquake down here in the south on the coast of the Pacific Ocean here, off the coast of Camp Pendleton. This is 1.2 tremor here. Not felt, too small. Off the coast of Camp Pendleton here, 1.2 tremor here. Now, further north here, coming out of the Newport Inglewood Fault here, right here. We have the Rose Canyon Fault going out here in the ocean, coming down the ocean side of San Diego County. Ocean side coming out of San Diego County. Then down here near Encinitas, all of a sudden the same Rose Canyon Fault coming out of Los Angeles comes down here and carries the fault down the coastal areas of San Diego County. All the way down the coastal areas of San Diego County, Solana Beach, down here in La Jolla, down here in San Diego City. The Rose Canyon Fault comes into San Diego City here and goes out here in the San Diego Harbor, back out here in the ocean. The Rose Canyon Fault is capable of a 7.5 earthquake. The Rose Canyon Fault is capable of a 7.5 earthquake. There are other faults here in the San Diego County region as well. Ancillary faults coming off the San Andreas, coming off the San Jacinto, and coming off the Rose Canyon Fault. Guys, we're going to have a major earthquake here as well. It's going to happen. I want to take you out into the desert area here. I want to go up here, okay? Right here. Fraser Park. This area here is right smack dab on the San Andreas Fault and the Garlock Fault here. Going up here further east. They're calling this a quarry blast, guys. Quarry blast. Okay? I don't think it's a quarry blast. This is out here in the desert mountain areas, California. A 1.2 tremor here. Yes, there's quarries further down here to the south. Quarry over here to the northeast. This earthquake is not near a quarry. Not near a quarry. It's a tremor. It's a tremor. Okay? Off the Garlock Fault. Then the Garlock Fault continues its northeastward journey out here. Okay? Let's back it out here. I want you to see this. Comes out here. Right here. Mojave Desert, Mojave, California. 1.0 tremor here. Further north here, Johannesburg, California. 1.0 tremor here. 1.1 tremor here. Johannesburg, California. Up here north, just about 7 miles east-northeast of Ridgecrest, California, we have 1.8 tremor here. And a brand new earthquake right here. Little Lake, California. Then we have a swarm that's continuing here. We have a swarm of earthquakes that continue here. What's here? The Coso volcano, guys. The Coso volcanic junction. Coso junction. Guys, here we have earthquakes all over the place. Why? One, there's 2 earthquake faults going through the Coso junction region. But more than ever, there's magma down beneath these volcanoes, down beneath these cones and craters here. I want to talk about the Coso volcano during the rest of this program. I've got information you're going to want to see, you're going to want to know about. Before we get into that, I'm going to tell you about these earthquakes. This is a 0.5 microquake. This is 1.7 tremor. This is a 2.11 earthquake. This is 0.7 microquake. This is 0.7 microquake. There are microquakes, there are tremors, and there are also minor earthquakes. And USGS not even showing them all. They're not showing them all. Let's talk about the Coso volcano here. Why we're seeing earthquakes here. During this past weekend, we had 116 earthquakes here that hit the Coso volcanic field here in California, in Inyo County. On Sunday, August 23rd, 2 days ago, roughly 23 times normal than we usually see here in the volcanic field here on normal August day. The Coso volcanic field last erupted about 40,000 years ago. 40,000 years ago. Across 5 days, USGS cataloged 208 earthquake events. 208 earthquake events inside a cluster, barely a kilometer wide. Barely a kilometer wide here, guys. That is what's so crazy here. Barely a kilometer wide. It's almost insanity. It's almost insanity, guys. Let me show you a slide here. I've got another slide here I want to show you. Right here. 208 earthquakes in the Coso volcanic field. In the rock layer above the magma. And the rock layer above the magma here. Okay? This is important to understand. Okay? The largest earthquake that hit here was a 4.1 earthquake. A 4.1 moderate earthquake. The USGS is calling light earthquakes. Again, there's no such thing as a light earthquake. When we have a 3.0, 3.9 earthquakes are labeled small. A 4.0 to 4.9 earthquake is not a light earthquake. Okay? 4.1 earthquake here on Sunday. Okay? This earthquake arrived at 1 in the morning on Sunday morning. On day 4 of the earthquake swarms here. Now we are on day 6, today. You see the swarms today. Okay? After the swarm already appeared to die off, 4 quakes of magnitude 3 or greater in 5 days doubled the entire year's count for the area. Double the year's count of earthquakes for the area. The volcanic alert level has not moved from normal. The volcano alert level has not moved above normal yet. I'm saying yet. No aviation color code has been other than green. They're not expecting Coso volcano to erupt yet. The single measurement that would settle what is actually happening down there in the Coso volcanic field is least equipped to make. There are exactly 3 instruments here in the Coso volcanic field. 3 instruments. 3 instruments here, guys. I'm showing you them here. Let me take down our webcam here. I'm showing you 2 of the instruments here. There's a third out to the east here. 3 instruments here. 3 seismographs. 3 seismographs are recording everything happening here in the Coso volcanic field. The Coso volcanic field is huge. It's huge. But there's only 3 seismographs recording information here. 3 instruments are fully capable of making all the earthquakes here. Recording all the earthquakes, I should say. 116 earthquakes struck the same square kilometer of the California desert on Sunday. 116 earthquakes just on Sunday alone. Under a volcano that most Americans don't even hear about, don't even know about, and nobody's watching. Nobody's watching. Unless you've watched this channel. We've talked about the Coso volcano before. The Coso volcano is in the Mojave Desert here, northeast of Ridgecrest. As I said, it erupted over 40,000 years ago. It has confirmed magma rock beneath it. It has confirmed magma rock beneath it. Okay? You need to know that as well. Okay? Yes, there's a possibility this volcano could erupt at some point in time. At some point in time. Okay? What I've shown you now is a slide here showing you the roads leading all around the Coso volcanic field. What else is here? What else is here? Geothermal stations, where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of this volcano to obtain steam from the volcano to power turbines here to generate electricity here in the Coso volcanic field. For energy conglomerates such as California Edison, Southern California Edison. It's happening. Okay? A great many geothermal power plants have drilled into the roof of the volcano. Exactly 1 seismograph has been keeping track of all of it. The largest quake to arrive at 1 in the morning, 4 days in a row, at the earthquakes here, was a 4.1. Here's what the actual data shows and what it cannot. Between Thursday last week on the 20th of August and Sunday morning, a volcanic field in the California desert produced 208 earthquakes. That number comes from the USGS, counting every recorded event here within a 35-kilometer distance, in the 35-kilometer center of Coso volcanic field in Inyo County, California. That's what they do with 3 different seismographs. Only 3 different seismographs here, guys, recording earthquakes in the Coso volcanic field. Okay? Let's go on here. Almost every one of those came out of a single cluster about 10 kilometers east of northeast of Coso Junction, which is west of the field. Coso Junction is west of the field, at a depth of roughly 12 to 3 kilometers deep. very shallow earthquakes. Very shallow earthquakes. The rate is the thing that matters the most, though. From the 1st of August to the 19th, the same area produced 96 earthquakes. From August 1st to August 19th, this area produced 96 earthquakes, a little over 5 a day. From the 20th onward, around about 42 a day, half of the normal. That is 8 times the baseline. 42 earthquakes a day is 8 times the baseline. On Sunday alone, they cataloged 116 events, which is roughly 23 times the normal limit on an August day here at Coso Volcano. Now guys, here's the statistics that should stop you. Here's a statistic that's going to stop you. From the 1st of January through the 20th of August, nearly 8 months, the Coso volcanic region produced 2 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or greater. From the 1st of January this year to the 20th of August, the Coso area produced 2 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or greater. 3 or greater. In the 5 days that followed, it produced 4. This swarm doubled the entire year's magnitude 3. Okay? This swarm doubled the entire year's magnitude 3 earthquake count in less than a week. Coso volcanic field is not a mountain. As you can see, it's a volcanic field. A field of cones and craters. Okay? That is why, for the most part, most people never heard of it. It is a scatter of 38 rhyolite lava domes, 38 rhyolite domes, 14 basaltic craters, cinder cones, hot springs, yes, hot springs, steaming vents, spread across 400 square kilometers. 400 square kilometers, about 200 miles, on the eastern flank of the Sierra Nevada, at the northern edge of the Mojave Desert. Coso volcanic field sits at 64 kilometers north of Ridgecrest, 68 kilometers north of Ridgecrest. Interesting here, really is. Most of it lies inside the boundary of Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake. Most of the Coso volcanic field lies within the boundary of Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake. Okay? When was the last time we heard about that? Right after the Ridgecrest earthquakes. Okay? Right after the Ridgecrest earthquakes, Air Weapons Station China Lake was closed down to the public. The last confirmed eruption here, like I said, was over 40,000 years ago. And through all 28 earthquakes here, the volcanic alert level, Coso, stayed at normal. Normal. Green. Green. The aviation color code also stayed green. Neither one has moved at all. 280 earthquakes, the color code has not changed at all, not one bit. Now, the shape of this swarm is part that separates it from the normal run of small earthquakes. The shape of the swarm. Let me show you the shape of the swarm right now. Right here. This is the shape of the earthquakes. Within a very small region, very small part of Coso volcanic region, 208 earthquakes in 24 hours. 24 hours, guys. Okay? Aftershock sequences have a very specific signature. They start with largest event 4.1. This is usually how it happens. The swarms start with the largest 4.1 and then go down from there. Meaning down, it downgrades the earthquakes. They go all the way down to 1.0 tremors. That did not happen on Saturday or Sunday. Okay? Usually the swarms start off and fall off steadily and predictably roughly as the inverse of the time elapsed. Okay? The decay pattern has been known for more than a century, and it's one of the most reliable behaviors in all seismology. This swarm did the opposite. This swarm of earthquakes did the opposite. It built through Friday, August the 21st, to 52 catalog events. Then on Saturday, the number of earthquakes collapsed to 9, an 80% drop, almost back to background. Anyone watching this event on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, would have reasonably concluded it was over. Then it was not. On Sunday, this area had 160 more earthquakes. 160 more earthquakes. More than double the first pulse. It contained every single one of the swarm's 4 largest events. It contained every single one of the swarm's largest events, including the 3.9, the 4.1 earthquake on Sunday. That's not a decay. That is not a decay. It's a driven process. It's a driven process, guys. A driven process. Now, guys, there's a method to my madness here. There's a method to my madness. Why am I talking about it? Why am I talking about it? Right here. Okay? These earthquakes were shell earthquakes. Above the magma, guys. Above the magma. Notice these points here, where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers here to obtain steam from the volcano. Okay? The magma heats the rock here. Heat rises. Magma heats up the rock. They've injected water in this rock to obtain steam. And all the earthquakes are here, in this bedrock. All the earthquakes were here in this bedrock. Again, all these earthquakes happened in one day. 116 earthquakes going from 0.1 up to 3.9 and 4.1 earthquakes here. That's not decay. This earthquake sequence was driven. This earthquake sequence was driven. Something applying stress to the same patchwork of rock. Repeatedly with a pause in the middle. Pause on Saturday. There was no main shock. There's no main shock anywhere in the sequence. No main shock to decay from, because the largest earthquakes happen on Sunday. The largest earthquake arrived 72 hours after the swarm started, which is the textbook definition of a swarm rather than a main shock, followed by aftershocks. Okay? It's a textbook definition of a swarm rather than a main shock, followed by aftershocks. The magnitudes climbed with time, which is the total reverse of what it usually does with aftershocks. A 1.93, then a 2.98 minor earthquake, a 3.29 small earthquake, then at 59 minutes and 55 seconds past midnight Pacific time on Sunday morning, a moment magnitude of 3.9 happened. A magnitude 3.9 happened at a depth of 2.83 kilometers deep, just over a mile deep. 80 seconds after that, a magnitude 3.36. 77 minutes after that, a magnitude 3.51. 3 of the 4 largest earthquakes recorded at Coso volcanic field all happened inside a 78-minute window. Okay? 3 of the 4 largest earthquakes happened within a 78-minute window, including up to a 4.1 earthquake. Fancy that. In the middle of the night, underneath naval weapons range. Underneath naval weapons range. Now look where they happen. Look where they happen, guys. In that bedrock. Okay? This is a detail that almost nobody's going to report. And yet it is probably the most revealing number in the whole story. Every significant earthquake in the swarm falls between 3.6 and 3.60. Okay? It also falls between 36.061 and 36.070 degrees north, and between 117.8375 and 117.844 degrees west. Fancy that. Small area, very small area, guys. Translate that into distance. You get a box, roughly 1 kilometer north to south by 600 meters to the east to the west. 208 earthquakes in 5 days. 208 earthquakes in 5 days. Figure that out. All out of a patch of earth, a patch of crust that would fit comfortably inside a large airport. A patch of crust that would fit comfortably inside a small airport. The depths are just as confined. Minor depths, just over a mile deep. Some of them, sometimes less than a mile deep. Setting aside 2 background events near Ridgecrest, they're not part of all this. Those events are not part of all this at all. Every cataloged earthquake in the cluster sits between 2.6 and 3.51 kilometers deep. 2.6 to 3.51 kilometers deep. Shell earthquakes. and a clear majority fall between 2.5 and 2.8 kilometers deep. That's a depth spread of about 1,200 meters deep. 1,200 meters deep. What we're looking at is a very thin shell slab of rock. Very thin shell slab of rock, breaking over and over and over again. It's not a column. It's not a column, guys. It's a very thin slab of rock, cracking over and over and over again. Okay? It's not a front moving through the crust. It's not a swarm of earthquakes moving through the crust. It is also very, very worthwhile and very much clearer to know how the energy in the swarm is distributed between 208, and that's a headline number that flatters itself. 208 earthquakes is a headline number. Only 11 of these earthquakes reached a magnitude 2.0 or larger. Only 11 of these earthquakes reached between 2.0 and 4.1. 197 of them were smaller than that. And 4 releases something like 1,000 times the energy of a magnitude 2. 1,000 times the energy of magnitude 2 earthquake. Add all 197 of the smaller ones together, they still contribute almost nothing. Sunday's magnitude 4.1 is essentially the entire swarm. The 4.1 magnitude is essentially the entire swarm together. And this is where this entire story turns crazy. Because there's one thing the swarm is conspicuously not doing. There's one thing the swarm is not doing, guys. The earthquakes did not get shallower. When magma or magmatic fluid crosses through the crust, it cracks the rocks. It cracks the rocks ahead of it. And the earthquakes track that advance. The earthquakes track that advance as they move. The hypocenters climb toward the surface over days and hours. The hypocenters climb toward the surface over days and hours. It is one of the clearest warning patterns in volcanic monitoring. Nothing in the coastal crust shows it. Nothing. The depths on one day look like the depths of day 5. The cluster depths at day 1 look like the same depths of day 5. So the swarm here is intense. Coupled all together, it's intense. It's structured. It's unusually energetic, especially for this volcano. And it's sitting still too. Okay, I show you the cluster today. And that is only just part of the earthquakes that hit here in the Coso volcanic region. USGS is still not showing all the earthquakes. Before we go further, we also need to deal with something that has been circulating since Sunday. That's going to keep circulating. The largest earthquake that was first issued was a magnitude 4.1. Then it was revised down to 3.9. Okay? We've seen this happen all over the world. USGS says it's a 1 earthquake, then they revise it down to lower earthquake standard. They again don't want us to know the strength of these earthquakes. Then USGS came and settled down at a value. They rounded up to 4.0. They rounded up to 4.0, not 4.1, but 4.0. Screenshots of all three numbers are online right now. You can go to the USGS website and pick it up. And they claim they attach them, and the claim attached them to earthquake numbers is that someone is managing the number to keep people calm. Someone is managing the number to keep people calm. Interesting to know. I showed you all the earthquakes that hit today on the USGS map. I showed you everything that happened today on the USGS map, and they're in front of you right now. But again, these are not the only earthquakes here. I'm bringing up my device. Unless they've been taken down there as well. Hope they are not. They weren't earlier. I've been following this since Friday. I showed you this swarm on Friday, guys. Then it grew, and it grew, and it grew. Okay? Okay? They're showing on the European map 20 plus earthquakes. USGS not even showing close to that. They're not showing anything close to that. European map is showing a lot more than that. All over the Coso volcanic field. Okay? To the south, this is 0.95 minor microquake. Up to the north, this is 0.64 microquake again. Just over here, just south of these craters here, this is 0.57 microquake. Then I'm going to show you two earthquakes back to back here, side to side. This is a 2.05 minor earthquake. 2.05 minor earthquake. Right next to it is 0.93. Two more earthquakes. This is a 1.7. This is a 1.9, 2.0. Okay? You notice whenever we have a 0.9 anything, I round it up because USGS rounds it down. They don't want us to know exactly what's happening. They round the earthquake magnitudes down because, again, they don't want anybody to know what's happening. That's what they're doing. I'm going to point out a couple more earthquakes here, then we're going to go back where I'm just discussing here. This is 0.61. They don't like me talking about this. It's obvious to me. It's obvious to me they don't want me to talk about this because they took down my map all of a sudden. It went sideways. My map went sideways. Okay? This is 0.61 I just showed you. Just south there is a 0.96. This is 0.82. Going a little bit to the east is 0.90. This is 0.54. This is 0.39 microquake. microquake. Now guys, they have a red earthquake, it just happened. They have a red earthquake right here, it just happened. This is a 0.9 microquake here. Just happened. 0.9 microquake here. Okay? Again, if you go over the USGS site, you'll see screenshots of exactly what happened on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and even yesterday and today. Okay? The revision is real. Somebody's managing these earthquakes so people don't know what exactly is happening. It's generally happened, guys. This generally happened. But the direction is wrong for a cover-up. Cover-up revises down, stays down. This time, the seismic energy went up. The magnitude of earthquakes went up, not down. This one was down and then came back up. More importantly, the type of measurement changed all along the way. The early numbers were local magnitude, which is computed from the amplitude of ground shaking on nearby instruments and is very sensitive to which stations happen to report it first. Final published value is a moment magnitude 9.6, or 3.96, I'm sorry, 3.96. Computed from the actual physical size of the rupture using 40 seismic stations. 40 seismic stations, guys, 40. 40 seismic stations reporting the earthquake. Okay? Those stations reporting that earthquake had an azimuthal gap of 35 degrees and location error of 1800ths of a second. Those are two different physical qualities, measured two different ways. Expecting them to agree is like expecting a car's speedometer to match its fuel gauge. And the corrected value was published, time-stamped, unless sitting in the public catalog, with its entire revision history. That's a strange way to hide things. There's one more piece worth knowing about. The dense local seismic network at Coso. The dense seismic network at Coso. Coso Volcano, guess what? The seismic network at Coso Volcano was not run by USGS. It's run by the Navy. And it detects earthquakes down to magnitude minus 0.5 events. The Navy instruments recorded earthquakes here at a minus 0.5 magnitude. Thousands of times smaller than anything the public would feel or the public would see on the feeds. Okay? USGS won't publish that. Excuse me. If anyone actually wanted to see or suppress the earthquake count at Coso Volcano, the public catalog is the least effective place on Earth to do it. Coso has magma underneath it. The entire Coso volcanic field here has magma under the entire field. Under the entire field, guys. That is not speculation. And it is not the most alarming part. It is the settled part. Geological surveys. Their own language is unambiguous. Unambiguous geophysical and geochemical studies. They detect a swarm of partially molten rock. Underlying the center of Coso volcanic field. But Coso volcanic field is only 7 volcanoes in California. Coso volcanic field is only one of 7 volcanoes in California. Fancy that. Fancy that. One of 7 volcanoes in Volcano Fields, California. Alongside Mount Shasta, Medicine Volcano northeast of Mount Shasta, and further south into Mount Lassen. Clear Lake, 100 plus miles north of San Francisco. They have earthquakes there. Clear Lake is a volcano. The Long Valley region east of Mammoth Mountain is a volcano. Long Valley Volcano is a super volcano. And the Sultan Butte Volcano is a big volcano as well. And they are downplaying that volcano as well. They're downplaying it. They don't want anybody to know what's going on. Sultan Butte Volcano is being downplayed totally. It's a very active and very large volcano. The question here is where the molten rock sits. Where does this molten rock sit? Now, I showed you a minute ago, I'm going to show you again where this molten rock sits. It sits above the volcano, the earthquakes sit above where the molten rock is, in the bedrock. Earthquakes this weekend happen in the bedrock above the magma field. Okay? And the public science here generally disagrees, which turns out to be the most significant useful thing in this entire story. USGS doesn't agree at all. A 1980 study using distant earthquakes found a slow velocity body between 10 and 17 kilometers deep. A very slow velocity body between 10 and 17 kilometers deep. 2003 study inferred a shallow reservoir roughly 5 kilometers deep. In 2005 and 2007, another work was published, described a flat sill-like magma body 20 kilometers long, 3 to 5 kilometers thick. That's impossible, guys. That's impossible. And the magma between 11 to 16 kilometers deep. Interesting. A 2022 tomography study built for more than 137,000 seismic travel measurements imaged a slow, low velocity body between 5 and 20 kilometers deep. Every single one of those estimates is deeper than the swarm. Every one of the single elements here the U.S. just put up is deeper than the swarm of earthquakes that hit. The shallowest credible top of the magma system of Coso is about 5 kilometers deep, or about 2 miles beneath the crust. 2 miles beneath the crust, guys. Isn't that interesting? And USGS would have us believe otherwise. Earthquakes are 2.5 to 3 kilometers deep. The earthquakes between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Monday and today, are between 2.5 to 3 kilometers deep. That gap of 2 kilometers of solid rock is the strongest piece of evidence here in this case. It cuts hard against the frightening interpretation of USBS. These earthquakes are happening above the magma, not in it. These earthquakes are happening above the magma, not in it. Okay? There is a long-term trend that runs the other way. We've talked about this earthquake trend before, but I've told you that earthquakes are down in the magma. The magma is causing these earthquakes. That's not so today. That's so in this evidence here. And honesty requires us to talk about it. Honesty decides that we need to talk about it. So I'm telling you about it. Okay? Thermography of Coso's erupted rhyolite. Coso's erupted rhyolite sitting on the surface shows that over the past 600,000 years, the depth of the magma erupted from this area decreased from about 10 kilometers for the oldest samples to about 5 kilometers for the youngest. 40,000-year-old samples. 40,000-year-old material, guys, rhyolite lava. The conclusion is blunt. As the reservoir has become closer to the surface, eruptions become both more frequent and more voluminous, more magma, more lava. So yes, Coso is getting more dangerous over geological time. Coso volcano is getting more dangerous over geological time. That's why I'm talking about it. This is over by China Lake, north of Los Angeles, northeast of Santa Barbara. The clock runs in hundreds of thousands of years. It has nothing to say about this week. Here's where the story stops being purely geological, because there's something else sitting directly above the magma body. The Coso geothermal field. The Coso geothermal field that I've shown you. The Coso geothermal field here. Let me show you a clearer picture of it. I think I have a clearer picture here in just a second here. Nope, that's not it. Right there. Okay? I tried to show you satellite pictures of this over the past couple of years. Now we have this today. Okay? The turbines are here. You see the vents here? These vents put out steam that powered the turbines that came from the volcano. Okay? The Coso geothermal system here. Back in the time of Harry Reid was a senator from Nevada. He obtained money from the United States government to build these geothermal volcanic fields to generate electricity. They're all over this area, guys. In the past, I've shown you, I believe, 4 or 5 different geothermal facilities here throughout the coastal region. Okay? The first facility went online in 1987. It's 4 power blocks, 4 turbine facility, holding 9 30-megawatt turbine generators. 9 30-megawatt turbine generators, rated at 270 megawatts total drawing power, superheated brine. Okay? The turbines are powered by superheated brine from a network of more than 140 wells. Network of 140 wells spread across 15,000 acres. 140 wells spread across 15,000 acres. 99 of those are production wells, running from 2,500 feet down to over 13,000 feet down. 35 of those are injection wells where we inject brine, treated sewage water into those wells to get steam from those wells to power turbines. The reservoir runs between 200 to 328 degrees. From 200 to 328 degrees. Mass flows through the system exceeds 1,400 million pounds per hour. Mass flowing through the system exceeds 14 million pounds an hour. Now convert those well depths into units we've been using. 2,500 feet is about 3/4 of a kilometer. 2,500 feet is about 3/4 of a kilometer. 13,000 feet is 4 kilometers deep. The entire swarm, all 28 earthquakes, every one of them, between 2 to 2.6 and 3.51 kilometers deep. This falls inside the exact depth conversion, falls exactly within the same exact depth interval where that plant has been pulling heat out of the ground for 39 years. The plant is not like what it was when it was first built. It was rated at 270 megawatts, run as high as 302 megawatts at its peak. Now it's down to 180 megawatts. Okay? That's huge loss of power here. Okay? The power ratings of these systems have been downgraded since 2012. Okay? It's called geothermal resource depletion. Geothermal resource depletion. It's incredible. It's incredible. Now, guys, I'm going to try to find, and I have it here. Well, that's not quite it. Right here. Okay? Coso volcanic field is only operating at 50% capability. Number one, because their machines are not capable of it any longer. Their machines are not capable of it any longer. Okay? The operator running this field, this geothermal facility, states that the facility produces about 145 net megawatts. That is roughly half the output that was designed to be for. It is a signature of body of rock that has been substantially and permanently depleted, cooled. The body of rock has been cooled over time. Us pumping water that's up in the rock and the top of the volcano on the crust, pumping water down into the volcano above the magma, and that water's cooled the volcanic area here, cooled the bedrock, substantially and permanently cooled. And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is wrong. This is not a fringe position. A paper published in the journal Nature in 2021 Studying this exact location states plainly 30 years of geothermal heat production at Coso Volcano has depleted shear stresses within the reservoir. A thermal contraction of the reservoir initially induced substantial seismicity. What did it just say? What did this just say to us? Thermal contraction of the reservoir here has initially induced substantial seismicity. More earthquakes. We pull heat out of the rock shrinks. Shrinking rock cracks, causing earthquakes, doesn't it? The mechanism is real. It's published. And yet we're still operating these systems at Coso Volcano right now. These geothermal facilities are still running. But the honest limits matter. The central finding is actually the opposite. It argues through decades of production, the net drain stress available to drive earthquakes there, but it's not a claim that the plant causes. It's not a claim that these plants here at Coso Volcanic Field, caused the earthquakes since Friday. We don't have any real operational data for just a week, less than a week. Nobody outside the operator can say whether anything changed, whether they changed the injection schedule of the solid treated sewage into the volcano. We don't know whether they changed the injection schedule yet. What induced seismicity does not do to make a volcano erupt. What induced seismicity does or does not do could make a volcano erupt. Cracking rock cause magma going through those layers to come up through the layers and erupt. Okay? Induced earthquakes are shallow, small, confined to the volume that's been pressurized and cooled, which is precisely the pattern we have in front of us. This is precisely the pattern that's in front of us right now. To start an eruption, you would have to change the conditions of the magma reservoir 5 kilometers down at the absolute minimum. Between these wells and the magma sits a boundary called the brittle ductile transition, which is at Coso Volcanic Field, guys, is pushed up about 4 to 5 kilometers. 4 to 5 kilometers, guys. Below that line, rock stops cracking and starts flowing. What does that mean? The rock stops cracking, it starts flowing, meaning the heat of the magma beneath it keeps that rock flowing as magma. Keeps that rock flowing as magma here. The pressure changes the network of cracks. They do not propagate meaningfully across it. The reasonable position is that the geothermal operation is very likely shaping the swarm, but it's definitely not going to erupt the volcano. What happened this week is not going to erupt the volcano at all. We've seen Coso do something like this before. The comparison deflates the alarm rather than feeding it up. The comparison of what happened before and what happened this past weekend deflates the alarm that might feed it. On July 4th, 2019, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake struck near Ridgecrest. We all know about it. I covered it on this channel. What else happened? Let's talk about this, because this also becomes part of the story. Okay? The 6.4 earthquake struck about 30 kilometers south of Coso volcano. 33 3/4 hours later, a magnitude 7.1 followed on a different fault. That's interesting. Okay? Why am I saying that? The simple reason is this. USGS said that 6.4 didn't happen. USGS took it down. USGS took it down. Then we had another 7.1. Okay? 7.1 on a different fault. Crossed the first at a right angle. Together, both those earthquakes tore more than 68 kilometers of surface rupture. Both the 6.4 and the 7.1 earthquake tore 68 kilometers of surface rupture across the Mojave Desert. In other words, fissures. Fissures came up, guys. These earthquakes tore up the ground. Both those earthquakes triggered seismic creep, along 20 to 25 kilometers of the Garlic Fault. Triggered creep along the Garlic Fault. 20 to 25 kilometers along the fault. 12 miles. 12 miles. Guess what? Coso responded. Coso Volcanic Field responded. By producing roughly 600 earthquakes of magnitude 1 or greater per day, right after those earthquakes. Coso Volcanic Field produced roughly 600 more earthquakes, magnitude 1 or greater, after those two big earthquakes. About 1,600 in 2 days following the July 8th event. 12 of them exceeded magnitude 3, and the two largest were magnitude 4.1. Now set that against this week. 200 events over 5 days. The largest is a 3.96 and 4.1. The swarm is running at roughly 115th of the daily rate of 2019. The swarm that we just saw has 115th the daily rate of a 2019 period. And its biggest earthquake is slightly smaller than the two biggest earthquakes from back then, 7 years on. Coso Volcanic is not building. Coso Volcanic Field is not building towards something. It's doing a much smaller version of what it is, what it already has done. But there's a fight in the literature about 2019 that matters enormously for how much you should trust the number 208. The same Nature paper says that Coso is sitting in a zone under stress changes that should trigger aftershocks, produce none. Let's repeat that. The same Journal of Nature paper said that Coso sitting in a zone where stress changes should trigger aftershocks, produce zero. None. No aftershocks were observed there. A separate peer-reviewed paper by Geological Survey scientists working from the Navy's dense local catalog here in China Lake. Instead of the regional one, found the opposite. Coso volcanic field behaved identically to the surrounding area, and the apparent absence was simply the regional network. The regional network failing to see the earthquakes because of that shallow, brittle ductile transition. That ductile transition that distorts how the crust that are sampled. One paper says that the earthquakes are not there. The other says they were there and we could not see them. Isn't that interesting? The scientists are trying to say they didn't happen. We didn't see them, or they're not there. Both of those papers are peer-reviewed, meaning their peers also condone it. This dispute leads directly to the thing that should actually concern you about Coso volcanic field. It's not the magma. The California Volcano Observatory has published a decision framework for exactly this situation, and the logic is clear. Magma pushing into the subsurface has to shove rock out of the way as it produces deformation. The earth rise, the crust rising or falling. The source of the magma is too deep to matter, or it's not magmatic at all. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? The deformation may not be magmatic at all. Could it be gas riding above the magma? Yes, could. The gas riding above the magma has to escape somewhere. If you don't see either of those, the source is either too deep to matter or it's not magmatic at all. Deformation is a disseminator here. Deformation, the change in the Earth's crust, is discrimination here. It is a measurement that settles the question. Now the count of the instruments. There is one seismograph operated by the USGS near the Coso volcanic field. It was installed in 2001. There are 3 GPS receivers making up the continuous deformation network. They went into operation 2000, 2005, and 2006. There are no tilt meters. There's no tilt meters, guys, to show us whether deformation is actually happening. 3 receivers, the newest of them is 20 years old, covering 4,400 kilometers of volcanic field. 1 transmitter, 1 receiver, 1 seismic instrument covering 400 kilometers of volcanic field, over 200 miles, with a body of molten rock beneath it. Okay, what you're seeing here on this picture here, in the slide, you're seeing one of the GPS systems here. One GPS system here covering over 200 miles of operation volcanic field. And down beneath the volcano, there's magma down there. There's magma there. There are no strain meters saying whether the Earth is stretching or congesting together. No tilt meters, no strain meters. There's also no gas monitoring as well. Figure that out. Why is there no gas monitoring? There is magma down beneath there. There is CO2, carbon dioxide. There is also sulfur dioxide is there as well. Dangerous volcanic gases. All over Coso volcanic field. But they have not installed any instruments to record that. Why? Why have they not done that? 3 receivers, and the oldest one is 20 years old. For comparison, Long Valley Caldera Supervolcano has 46 GPS receivers, 9 tilt meters. That asymmetry is deliberate as defensible. Threat ranking is not a popular contest. Threat ranking is not a popularity contest. It is 24 criterion assets. Long Valley scores 129 and ranks 18th of 161 American volcanoes. Long Valley Volcano scores 129 as a possibility of eruption and ranks 18th out of 161 American volcanoes, including Alaska. Coso ranks 55 and ranks 72nd. Figure that out. Long Valley, on the other hand, produced a supervolcano eruption 760,000 years ago that moved something on the order of 650 cubic kilometers of rock. Long Valley erupted 650 cubic kilometers of rock. Coso's most productive stretch was 6 million years ago, producing 35 cubic kilometers of rock total. Long Valley has a tower at its edge. Coso has 370 people within 10 kilometers. Coso Volcanic Field has 370 people within 10 kilometers away. Figure that out. That would make Coso also dangerous. Coso is monitored roughly in proportion to what it can actually do. The reassurance we're being offered right now is real. It is also thinner than it sounds, because the other instruments here, instruments at Coso, would tell us otherwise. 3 receivers wide, covering 400 kilometers each. So where does this leave us? The defensible reading is that this is a vigorous but ordinary swarm in an extensional step over between a 2-strike slip fault system, very probably driven by pressurized hot water, forcing its way through a fractured network of 2 to 3 kilometers down inside a geothermal reservoir. Okay? Hot water forcing its way down a fractured network 2 to 3 kilometers deep inside a geothermal reservoir. And this has roughly been cooled and drained over 39 years. That geothermal reservoir has been cooled and drained over 39 years. Pressurized water lifts the 2 sides of a fault apart. Pressurized water from underneath lifts the 2 sides of the fault apart, just enough to let it slip under stress that would otherwise hold. If it wasn't for this stress of the water lifting this fault up, it would hold together. Wouldn't be a fault at all. That mechanism produces exactly what we saw on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, and today. Bursts, a gap, a bigger burst, and earthquake magnitudes that climbs instead of decaying. No magmatic signal is present in any of the data stream that we have. A normal alert level is a correct call. There are 5 things that would change the assessment, and they are worth knowing about, because they are exactly what the observatory itself is watching for. The first is hypocenters. Hypocenters beginning to migrate upward, or a new cluster opening west of the current one. A hypocenter earthquake beginning to migrate upward, or a new cluster opening west of the current one. USGS states that future eruptions are more likely in the western half of the field. Future eruptions are more likely in the western half of the field. Now, let's go back to the USGS map here. I want to show you the field. I want to show you the field here, right here. This is what USGS says happened today. It's wrong. I showed you the European map earlier. Okay, right here. See these lines here? This is US Highway 395. US Highway 395. This is already the western side of Coso Volcano Field. Okay? USGS says the future eruptions of this volcano are likely to happen in the western half of the field, right next to a major highway. Right next to a major highway here. The second is a change in the character of the signals. Long period signals, the broad and wobbly kind, probably produced by fluid moving in a crack or a continuous harmonic tremor, replacing the sharp high frequency snapping that we see in these earthquakes. Sharp high frequency snapping that we're seeing now. This same transition is what preceded Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 and again in 2004. The third is any inflation on those three GPS stations. Any inflation of the volcanic field, meaning earth deformation, earth changes, earth tilting, Coso sinking. Coso volcano field has been sinking, not swelling, for as long as we have been able to measure it. Coso volcanic caldera moves about 3.5 centimeters a year through the 1990s, up to 15 millimeters per year through the 1990s until recently. In reverse will be the single observation that moves this hot water to magma. Let me repeat that. Any reversal from this plausible position would mean the water is going to change to magma. What they're saying the water is doing is not going to be water, it's going to be magma. The fourth is new or intensified steam. New or intensified steam, or gas at Coso Hot Springs. The fifth is an information statement from Coso Volcanic Observatory, which is a deliberate first step before any alert level change. None of those 5 things has happened yet. None of the 5 things that I just mentioned to you have happened yet. The most recent Coso specific notice on file is still dated July of 2019, 7 years ago. We're going to have to watch USGS over the next 2 days to see if there are going to be any additional changes. Going to have to watch USGS for the next 2 days, see if there's any changes. If there is, then all the things I've talked about are going to change. If it does, we'll bring you up to date with what happens as soon as we know about it. Yesterday, USGS says earthquake count was 15. I showed you today what the European agency said was over 23, not 15. And yet, Yet USGS maybe have 12 there. Europeans have 20 plus. 20 plus. That says a lot. Okay? Now, if Coso produces another 100 plus per day, 100 plus earthquakes per day, or anything above magnitude 4, the swarm stops resembling anything in its own recent record. If it fades, this was hot water finding a new path through cracked rock. And the most interesting thing about it will remain the fact that we needed 3 aging seismographs in the desert to tell us about this. Go figure. 3 seismographs aging out in the desert to tell us about what happened here. We're going to monitor this, guys. We have to monitor it. Because if this swarm gets larger, guess what? It's not going to be about steam. It's going to be about magma here. It'll be about magma. Do we have any questions about anything I've told you so far? I had to do a lot of research to get this information for you. I hope it was beneficial for you. Coso Volcano is too close to populated areas to not worry about it. It's too close to populated areas not to worry about it. Coso volcanic field has not erupted in over 600,000 years. There is a possibility it could happen. There is still a distinct possibility it could happen. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. Guys, I appreciate you being here. I really do. Thanks for being here. Right now it says we have 18 people watching. I hope it's more than that. Hope it's a lot more than that. But guys, I love you. I care about each one of you. I care about each one of you. Guys, let's be safe here. Let's be safe and honest here. Okay? I want to be safe and honest with you here. We're going to watch and see what happens here. Things could change. Things could change. It could change rapidly. We're going to keep an eye on it for you, for all of us. Guys, I hope you got something out of this program. I spent a long time putting it together. Guys, I'm not going to go through a devotion tonight. It's too late. It's already 8:30 Eastern Time. 5:30 on the Pacific Coast. Guys, I hope you have a good day and a better night. Dan Weir says it's going to stink to high heaven. I agree, it is. Sulfur dioxide stinks. Absolutely stinks. He says pop goes a weasel. Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, guys, it's good to see you here. Lorraine Blomgren is here. We appreciate you being here. Lorraine Blomgren, I'm sorry. But Lorraine Blomgren is here. Appreciate you here. Hope you have a good day, guys. We love you. May God be with you this day and always. May God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the outside. Take care. See you tomorrow afternoon about 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then, guys. Take care. God bless. See you soon. Be safe.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. complex. Make it easy to grasp and absorb. Sharing strategies for safety. The vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching. And thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family. A member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. God bless you. We love you.